The 49ers have a huge problem. In the 2021 NFL Draft, San Francisco traded 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick in an effort to find their franchise quarterback. Now fast forward almost 2 years later, and a lot of people believe they found him. It's just not who they thought. The Niners selected Brock Purdy with the very last pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. As a 4-year starter at Iowa State, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan thought he could maybe develop into a serviceable backup behind highly drafted quarterback Trey Lance. Coming out of preseason, Purdy played well enough to earn a roster spot as the third-string quarterback behind Lance and Garoppolo. He would move up the depth chart sooner rather than later after Trey Lance sustained a season-ending injury in Week 2. Brock Purdy was now one not-so-uncommon Jimmy Garoppolo injury away from being handed the keys to one of the most sophisticated offenses in all of football. Well, that day would eventually come in Week 13 against the Miami Dolphins when Jimmy Garoppolo went down with a foot injury in the first quarter. Purdy would step in and throw for a respectable 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception and lead the Niners to victory. Later that week, Kyle Shanahan named him the starter for the rest of the season, and what happens next is ridiculous. Brock would finish out the season with 5 straight wins, throwing for over 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions. He was named NFC Rookie of the Month in both December and January. Oh, and his 119.4 passer rating would be the highest by a quarterback in their first 5 starts since Kurt Warner in 1999. He was pretty good, by the way. Now, what would Purdy do when it was win or go home in his very first playoff start? Oh, he would just lead his team to a blowout victory over the Seahawks while throwing for 332 yards and scoring 4 total touchdowns, the most ever by a rookie quarterback in a playoff game. Mr. Irrelevant has turned out to be anything but irrelevant, and that's going to lead to some tough decisions this offseason. So who's the Niners guy? Brock Purdy or Trey Lance?